this week on a brand new fiery episode of Strong Arm Sports Podcast. They get the board. Okay, maybe you're going to wait to see what's going to happen. After like a second or two, I want Ty Lue yelling in a referee's ear. What the was Ty Lue doing, bro? I want Ty Lue grabbing a ref.
We supposed to be the losers, but we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never in my lifetime. I guess they wasn't in their right mind. Underdog.
What's going on, folks? Welcome back to a brand new exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports Podcast, the realest sport podcast in all the land.
True.
Bruh, I'm talking about from the East Coast to the West Coast to overseas. We the best in all the land.
True.
And we are back to wrap up the previous week of sports in dramatic fashion. No BS, no sugarcoating, no biases, only the strong arm truth, and we got a lot to talk about, man. This happens to be the first time you guys have watched our show here on YouTube, or if you're listening on any of our various podcast channels, because we got a lot. I'm one half of the show, man. I go by the name of Spade the Prospect.
And I'm your boy, Paris 57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports Spade. Let me start off by saying this, bro. We have now entered the best damn month of the year. We in June, baby. June, baby, is where you at. If you was born in June, holla at us. Put it in the comment section down there. We are in the most fire month of the damn year, and that's none other than June. Spade was born in June. I was born in June. My mom was born in June. June, what's up, baby? We here.
Born in June. Let's go, right. June. We do this. This is
June,
the month
babies. Where you at?
Born.
Leave your birthday. If you was born in June, leave your birthday in the comment section down below, man. Spade.
Yes, sir.
We're going to start in the NFL. A couple of things happened in the NFL. I mean, we definitely going to get to the NBA. That's pretty much the meat and potatoes. We in the finals in the NBA. We're going to get there. But we want to start in the NFL. We're going to warm y'all up. We're going to give y'all some appetizers. We're going to start there. And I want to start in the NFL. We're going to take it to Green Bay, Spade. You good with that?
Let's do it, bro.
Okay, so if you guys didn't know, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, you may have heard of him. One of the top tier quarterbacks, if not considered the top quarterback in the league. He's soon to be up for a contract, whether it be extension or a re-up with Green Bay. And it just came out that Aaron Rodgers wants a player opt-out clause in his next contract. Spade, I gotta get your thoughts on this. Now, I mean, a guy of Aaron Rodgers' stature, why would you think he would want a player opt-out in his next contract? Why?
Because he want to leapfrog. That's what the league is right now. Every time a new contract is issued, it's some player leapfrogging somebody else's contract. That's what it's about. Now, Aaron Rodgers is probably going to get locked up for a long term. I'm thinking at least 4 or 5 years, right? Mm-hmm. And then this is going to have Aaron Rodgers at least 40, man. He's going to be like 40 years old. And we just talked about this on a previous show about these players, these quarterbacks, playing later, longer in the tooth into their 40s, and they still looking for the payday. They look, not I'm 40-something years old, I'm 40 years old, and I'm just looking to hold a spot on the sideline, let me hold a clipboard. No, they still on the field, and they still demanding a high salary. And Aaron Rodgers is seeing some other quarterbacks get paydays bigger than his, and quite frankly, he know he's better. Aaron Rodgers is not short for confidence if you know him. And this is going to be an opportunity for him to say, you know what, I see what's going on. Let me go ahead and opt out, and you can still keep me. I'll stay here, but you're going to have to bring that back, and I'm leapfrogging whoever making more money than me. That's what I think it's about.
Well, I think it could be one of two things. I think it could be exactly what you said, and Aaron Rodgers may sign, a 4 or 5 year deal, but I think he wants the option, and like I agree with you 100%. He wants the option to be like, after 2 or 3 years, if he see said quarterback get more money than him, and he still feel he's better at that juncture, he's gonna be like, I'm opting out. Y'all gotta re-up again. We gotta fix this. I still feel I'm better than said player, and I feel like I should be the top tier, the top guy at my position, and that's why I'm opting out. After this year, I'm opting out, and I think Aaron Rodgers kind of got this from like LeBron. LeBron be signing them shorter deals.
I was just gonna say that, bro.
He gets them shorter deals, them little 2-3 year deals. Always have a player option. He'd be like, you get that player option in there and be like, I'm not liking the way, in LeBron case, it's a different situation. He'd be like, I'm not liking how this thing look. I'm out. And I think it could either be that with Aaron Rodgers or it could be number 2, which is going to shock people. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is looking at the landscape of Green Bay like, you know what? We always been that team. We've been in the playoffs. We everybody assume. I mean, Spade, I think before Aaron Rodgers got hurt, before the season started, I think we said that Green Bay may go 15-1. We had them pretty much high up there. And maybe Aaron Rodgers is looking at Green Bay like, you know what, I'm tired of making it to the playoffs and my defense giving up 40 and, you know, I got wide receivers getting hurt. They ain't really give me a solid running game yet. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is like, you know what, I want to play an opt-out because if I'm not liking the way it's looking out here in Green Bay, I want to be able to opt out and go elsewhere. Do you think that could be do you think that could be the case in any way, shape, or form?
I think so. And what you really said right there that I didn't really think about more than anything, I think about Aaron Rodgers and I think about him being really confident, maybe even arrogant and wanting that money. But it's another side to it, man. This right here for a player is leverage. It's a leverage like no other. It could be, I don't like the way things are going here. I'm out. It can be, I'm going to be out unless you get me this, and this. It is power. It is leverage. And I don't understand why players haven't been doing it. Like, this is, like LePere said, this is the LeBron James blueprint. He's been doing this. Everybody else is like, oh, if I get this long-term deal, which I understand as well, it's guaranteed money. But
I don't mean to cut you off, Spade, but we got to give a shout out to. We got to give a shout out to Darrell Reeves too, because he was maneuvering like that too.
That's facts. And he's definitely the guy. I mean, to be fair, I think he might have been making it happen in that way before Bryan. But it's leverage. I understand the players to get the long-term deals. I was just really hard on Julio a few previous shows, previous to this one, about Julio saying, I might not come to OTAs or whatever. I want more money. I'm unhappy. So-and-so makes more money than me, and I'm better than him. Julio, you and your agent knew that when you locked up that long-term deal. When you lock up a long-term deal, you are essentially saying, just in case I get hurt, just in case my production goes down, I just want to make sure I'm taken care of. When you do that, you can't get mad and want to leapfrog. You can't get mad when you get leapfrog. For the guys to say, you know what, I'm taking care of my body. I'm going to throw caution to the wind. I don't believe I'm going to get hurt. I believe I'm going to perform. I'm taking a chance on me. Give me a short-term deal. Give me a player option. I want that money. I want that leverage. You can't have it both ways. You either want that, you want that long-term commitment where it's low risk. You're going to get your money either way, or you going after that bag. And it looks like Aaron Rodgers is going for the leverage route, and I can't say that I blame him.
Let me ask you, Spade. 1, do you see more players going this route? Do you see more players going this route? And 2, do you think the team will give it to him?
I think you'll see you'll see an increase. I don't think it's going to become the new wave, though, because football, unlike basketball, football is very demanding of the body.
People want that guarantee.
They want that guarantee, man. It's nothing like that insurance. And the long-term contract in the NFL has always been and will always be insurance. But I think you'll see a slight increase. You'll see some of the guys that's willing to play it risky come out there and do this. I think so.
Do you think Green Bay gives AA Run the opt-out?
Green Bay give AA Run whatever the hell he asked for. If he want horseradish sauce on his sandwich, on some season 1 of the Wire shit for Weebay, I think they show up with that horseradish. That's what I think.
I think they give it to him as well. We can move on.
All right, bro. I don't know if you heard this, but a big receiver just got signed to a new team. Coming out of free agency, I guess you could. See, that's what I was thinking. But actually, it is not Dez. It is Brandon Marshall, who was actually signed to Seattle. Now, I got something here I want to read to you, Lopez, and I think this one right here is going to make you feel some kind of way. Brandon Marshall said in an interview, I didn't have a ton of options. I think the sentiment around the league is that I'm done, and I get it, rightfully so. When you get on the other side of 30, your production slips, and you have a big injury, people just count you out. You know what's weird about it?
What's that?
Dez is on the right side of 30. Dez is like 29 years old, and no teams have come calling for Dez Bryant. A couple of questions for you. 1, Brandon Marshall to Seattle, do you like that signing? And 2, do you really feel like, let's be honest, should they have gone Dez here, in your opinion?
It's crazy, man. First of all, let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks. They always have everybody say Pete Carroll is a player's coach. They like playing for Pete Carroll. It's like It's like real loose in practice. You know, earlier in the week, we ain't going to talk about it, but earlier in the week, people was comparing the way Bill Belichick run his practice compared to Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is more fun and loose. They do pranks. They do different type of drills that's fun. And, you know, they say Bill Belichick is hard-nosed. We're going to do it we're going to do it more military style. And
do
people
right.
don't like it. People don't like it. So I want to start there. Pertaining to the coach, I don't know if Dez Bryant fits that culture because I don't know. We seen they players explode on the sideline, and Pete Carroll kind of let the teammates, the team handle each other. I don't know if anybody would be able to handle Dez coming in there. He's spazzing on the sideline. You know, Cam Chancellor got a neck injury. We don't know if he's going to be back. They done got rid of Richard Sherman. We seen Richard Sherman, spaz out on the sideline, and other players was able to get in Richard Sherman's face, including Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, OG
Michael
Bobby
Bennett.
Wagner. And they got in each other's face, and they kind of dealt with it. Even Michael Bennett, who's not there anymore as well, got in each other's face, and they kind of calmed everything down. Who's going to get in Dez's face on the offensive side of the ball? Russell Wilson? If Dez over there, give me the damn ball, who's getting in Dez's face? They don't have an O-lineman that's like the elite of the elite. They don't have beast mode no more.
They got Dwayne Brown.
I mean, he was hurt last year. He just got this. He going to be their vocal leader. Maybe Doug Baldwin. Maybe. But they don't have beast mode there. That whole team always said beast mode was the heart and soul. That he was the heartbeat of that team. And it seems like once beast mode gone, that team kind of been going downhill. We don't even know if Earl Thomas is going to be here. He still could be on the trade block. It's still rumors
he want to go to Dallas.
There's still rumors out there saying he may come to Dallas. We don't know. As far as Brandon Marshall signing there, people was just calling Brandon Marshall wash last year. And I don't know if that was more so because he was with the Giants and Eli and they had some injuries and they was expecting more from Brandon Marshall. Then he can give him. I'm looking at their wide receiver core, Spade, and I guess I understand why they signed Brandon Marshall. They did sign Jerron Brown from Arizona. They still got Doug Baldwin. They still got what's the other wide? Paul Richardson. As far as the signing, I understand why, but I just don't know. I don't know what Brandon Marshall we're going to get. Are we going to get Brandon Marshall that every stop he made, he was a damn near 100 catch receiver, damn near 1,000-yard receiver? I don't know if we're getting that guy anymore. Brandon Marshall's a year older. It was also a rumor when he was with the Giants. I know I'm talking a lot, Spade, but it was also a rumor when he was with the Jets and the Giants that he cared more about being on TV than he did about football. Now he's on the West Coast. Is he going to be flying back and forth to do this show? I don't know, man.
I thought about that as well.
I got mixed feelings with Brandon Marshall going to Seattle. I understand why they did it. It's another big receiver that they can use for Russell Wilson, and they need some weapons out there. But I just don't know. If I had to choose, I probably would have went Dez, especially if the money would have been equal. But it's been reports that Dez came out and said he want to go to the Niners. So did that stop Seattle from signing him? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Let me jump in on this right quick. One of the things, let's not forget, a few years back, look, I took a lot of criticism for it, but when we did our top 5 receivers, which is something we do leading up to the season, so stay tuned for that. We do our top 5 at each position, our predictions going into the season. And I had Brandon Marshall as a top 5 receiver. Now, this may have been, 3 years ago. And I took a lot of flack for it. Now, let's not forget, he had a 1,500-yard receiving season with the Jets. So, Brandon Marshall's not a bad receiver. However, I think at some point his biggest detractor was the fact that I think he was more into TV than football. I really think that hurt him. I think if he's focused on football, I think he's a hell of a player. He's played in a lot of bad systems. He's played with a lot of bad quarterbacks. And he's always pretty much produced. Now, of course, injuries took him out last year. But ultimately, if you look at the Giants last year, everybody had a down year for the Giants. The Giants had a down year. Like, it was not a good time to be, a New York Giant player. Everything was bad. Dez's mouth, I think, is something that gets him in trouble. Now, as far as his personality and his sideline blow-ups, I can't think of a better place for him than Seattle. Because that's the one place where that shit ain't really going to make news. It's a sideline blow up in Seattle every other week. I'm exaggerating, but it seems like it. I don't think that's the issue. But Dez, stop saying where you want to be. At this point, you want to be wherever the hell somebody will have you.
Yeah,
Shut up.
That's
You messing
true, bro.
yourself up. Be quiet. You have already come out and admitted that you really only run 3 routes. All right? That's one thing that's taken away from it. You are older. You do have the sideline blow-ups. And now you being particular about what team you want, I think it's going to hurt them. One other thing, and then we can move forward. I think Brandon Marshall had an opportunity to make TV full-time. And I think something inside of him told him that he still loves the game of football. Because, I mean, this is a guy that clearly loves doing TV, and he could have been out. He just got waived. He could have been free. He could have went and been on TV rocking a nice suit every weekend. Sometimes you have to be on the verge of almost losing something to realize just how much you enjoy it. And that could be the case for Brandon Marshall. Brandon said, hey, Dad, sorry, no room over here. And the Giants said, word. You know, and just like that, the sport that I think this guy loved could have been taken away from him. Now, we know, you know, he's battled some mental health issues in the past. He said thanks to therapy, he's a new guy. Yep. And I expect him to help those guys out. Now, I'm not saying he about to go out there and be an all-pro this season, but I expect him to help out. I really do.
Let me just
stay healthy.
Let me just state a correction. I'm looking at the roster. They still have Paul Richardson on their roster. He's no longer with them. He's signed with the Redskins. So, like I said, they need some weapons out there. Paul Richardson is no longer with Seattle. He signed to Washington. So I can understand why they signed Brandon Marshall. Like I said, they need some weapons. They need weapons, man. So I can understand it. I can understand why they did it. But like I said, we don't know which Brandon Marshall, which before we move on, Spade, which Brandon Marshall do you think we closer to? Are we closer to Wash Brandon Marshall from last year or Jets Brandon Marshall? And maybe not 1,500. Do you think he could be a 1,000-yard receiver, even if it's just 1,000 on the head?
Yeah, I think we'll get a high 900-yard performance from him. I think he'll be, because he's still not going to be the number one.
Yeah, I mean, he don't have to, I don't think. I mean, Doug Baldwin, we know what we're getting from Doug Baldwin.
I think he's 33. I'm not sure, but he up there.
Yeah, he up there for wide receiver. So, I mean, they got Tyler Lockett. They lost Jimmy Graham. They need some weapons. I get it, Seattle. I get it. If you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, hey, leave it in the comment section. Would you guys rather have Dez Bryant or Brandon Marshall? Leave it in the comment section down below. You ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
Gotta take it to New York, my neck of the woods, man. So I'm, we talking about topics about the show. I said, man, you heard about the Jets? Space said, nah, what happened with the Jets? I said, man, the Jets say Teddy Bridgewater out there looking amazing in OTAs, and they said this is only building up his trade value. Now we know, everybody know, they did draft rookie quarterback out of USC, Sam Darnold. So we would assume that eventually they'll hand him the keys. But do they? I mean, they just got Teddy Bridgewater, and they trying to get Teddy Bridgewater the hell up out of there already. They said Teddy Bridgewater looking amazing in OTAs. I don't feel like, before I go, I'm going to let you go, Spade. He's looking amazing in OTAs, and they said it's building up his trade value. Spade, is the Jets treating Teddy Bridgewater fair?
Yeah, because I think the Jets are bad. I think they bad, and I don't want Teddy there anyway. Now, here's the thing. If you look at the numbers, by the numbers, Josh McCown didn't look terrible last year. It wasn't a great team. It definitely wasn't a great offensive team. And I think the Jets are on the mindset that Josh McCown played well enough last year that he's going to have to flat out lose his starting job, which it sounds like Teddy could possibly do. And then they probably going to let Josh McCown, bridge it on over to Sam Darnold when they feel like Sam Darnold is ready. I think what they're saying is Teddy Bridgewater is a 25-year-old Pro Bowl player who lost his job due to injury. And if he can stay healthy, he can actually command top dollar in this weak-ass quarterback market that we're in. We got about 2, maybe you can say 3. I'm sorry, because I feel like every time we say that, it's disrespectful to Drew Brees. So definitely 3. If you want to be fair, we'll say 3 or 4 elite quarterbacks.
A handful. It's just a handful.
A handful of elite quarterbacks. And then you got a lot of guys clamoring at that next spot. Listen, a lot of people wrote Teddy Bridgewater off after this injury. Folks said his entire career could be over, and it could have because that's the severity of that injury. Mm-hmm. But I think Teddy Bridgewater was 23 at the time of that injury. He's crazy young. We talking about quarterbacks signing contracts in their 40s, and we're talking about a 25-year-old quarterback. We ain't even seen Teddy Bridgewater's peak. He hasn't even peaked. If he can stay healthy, I think the best thing for him to do is to continue to play well right here. Build up that look, how many times have we seen backup quarterbacks land in some system where they are paid top dollar and given a starting job? And I think Teddy Bridgewater, I think that should be the long-term goal. I don't think they're being unfair to him at all. They're letting him build his trade value, and he could possibly go somewhere and start, because they clearly want Sam Darnold to be the quarterback of their future. And, you know, I would rather him go somewhere where they give him the keys to the car than somewhere where he's looking over his shoulder, because even if he wins the starting job here, they are basically waiting on whoever's the starting quarterback. They waiting on you to get your ass out the way so Sam Darnold can take this franchise to wherever it's going to go. So, no, I don't think they're being unfair to him at all. I want to see him out of there. I didn't understand them getting him and then drafting Darnold. I never understood that anyway. So, you know, yeah, why not? Let him go.
Listen, man, I kind of feel they being unfair, man. I mean, you just get a guy, and all of a sudden, you ain't the guy never even put on your uniform in a game, and y'all like, you know what? He already building up his trade value. They was trying to trade him before the draft. They was trying to get him up out of there before the draft, and I'm like, damn, they really ain't even see what the kid had. So not now, and who knows if it's true? Maybe they just saying this. Maybe this news is coming out about OTAs because they trying to, they really trying to
build his value.
Yeah, they trying to get his value up, and they said, you know, he's looking amazing. I don't like it. I argue with people all the time about Teddy Bridgewater, even when he was with especially when he was with the Vikings, because people said, oh, he was trash when he was with the Vikings. I think he had 13 touchdowns and this many picks or something. Listen, man, he had that Minnesota Viking team in the playoffs and in position to win a game if the kicker could make a field goal. He a young player still learning the system, and let's be honest, Minnesota didn't have the weapons that they have now. They may have had Diggs, but Diggs was a rookie. He was still learning. So I mean, matter of fact, he may have got hurt when Diggs first season. I don't have the exact year, but I didn't feel like Minnesota treated him right. I don't feel like the Jets is treating him right. I really want Teddy Bridgewater to land somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe I think he's from Florida. Maybe Jacksonville. If Blake Bortles, they just signed Blake Bortles, but I mean, Blake Bortles got one of those friendly contracts where they could get Blake Bortles out of there, and they only really owe Blake Bortles like a couple of mil, well, like a few million. But I really want him to land somewhere that's going to be like, you know what, Teddy Bridgewater is our quarterback. He's going to get his opportunity to play here, and we're behind him. I don't know where that is, but I got a place. It's clearly not with the Jets. Go ahead, Spade.
You know where he's from?
Florida.
And you know where in Florida?
Yeah. Oh, not Miami.
Miami.
I thought you liked Tannehill.
I like Tannehill, but we don't know what Tannehill is going to be like coming back from injury either. And Tannehill is older than Teddy Bridgewater. So why not bring in Teddy?
Also a better wide receiver than Teddy Bridgewater as well.
You know what? What we're not going to do is slender the Tanny. That's what we're not going to do.
I mean,
but listen, man.
He definitely
I
run
saw
better
Teddy
routes.
Bridgewater. Shut up. I saw Teddy Bridgewater slip through the fingertips of the Miami Hurricanes and went to Louisville and tore it up. He had committed to Miami. He should have been a Cane, and he decommitted somewhere around all the firing of Randy Shannon and all that. But he is a Miami area kid anyway. I'm looking at listen. I want you to hear the quarterbacks on our roster right now: Ryan Tannehill, Brock Osweiler, David Fowles, I don't even know how you say that, and Bryce Petty.
Oh, so they don't got more no more? Where's more?
I don't know. He's gone. Jay Cutler gone too, though. Thank God. Those are the quarterbacks on our roster as of right now.
But
those are our 4 quarterbacks.
Would you be good with them busting the trade for him, though?
Hell yeah. I mean, hell, we done traded everything else. We got rid of Sue. Right. We got rid of Juice. I mean, yeah, why not? And we are clearly freeing up cap space. I've been saying the Dolphins are clearing up cap space. I don't know what we're working on down there, but I trust in the franchise down there. Fins up, man. Fins up. Move forward.
Okay. We can move. We can definitely move forward.
Let's talk some NBA, bro.
Go ahead.
You know, you was kind of long-winded on some of those last 2 topics. You know?
Not really.
You was kind of long-winded. And the reason why I'm okay with that is because I'm going to be long-winded on this right here.
Oh, Lord.
As we dive into the NBA, as we dive into the association, the greatest professional league in sports. You know, for things that I love as well as things that I hate. Before we talk about the NBA Finals, because we're going to talk about it. I know y'all want to talk about that. We got to wrap up the previous week, which means we have to go back and talk about Houston Rockets versus Golden State Warriors.
Do we? I mean, everybody did
We
their
have
Googles.
to.
Everybody checked
No.
We know what happened.
No, y'all don't. Y'all think y'all know what happened. I'm going to let you know exactly what happened. Folks,
We
listen,
know
Game
Chris
7.
Paul got hurt.
No, you don't.
We ain't happy about that. We
know, that
bro.
definitely happened. That happened. But I warned y'all about that before the season even started. I told you. Chris Paul get hurt every postseason.
It's no need to
Chris
go
Paul
back.
get hurt every. Nah. We going back, fam. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit.
Y'all. I tried.
Game 7, LaParis. All right. First of all, the Rockets came out there and fought better than anybody thought they would. If we being honest, nobody saw this going 7. Nobody saw it going 7. The Rockets were up in that series until Chris Paul did what Chris Paul does, which is get hurt in the postseason when his team needs him most. Chris Paul is a hell of a player. I like that about him. Chris Paul gets hurt. I don't like that about him. I told the parents that when he said Chris Paul's my top 5 point guard. I said, I guess we talking regular season. I guess we not talking postseason because he's going to get hurt. He's got the heart of a lion. He is a dog. He is a pit bull.
I'm not about to let you slander. I'm not going to let you slander Chris Paul because he backpacked. He backpacked your MVP. Your MVP.
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about that. For 3-4
I don't want to talk
games.
about that.
Without Chris
That's
Paul,
not
they
what we're
get
talking
the doors
about.
blown
And I'm
off.
not going to allow you to
swept.
change the narrative on my segment. This is my. It say right there, Spade.
Without
I'm looking
Chris
at
Paul,
it
don't go 7. They get
Spade.
the doors blown off, and they get the doors blown off and get swept.
That's neither here nor there. Let's talk about some things that went wrong.
You ain't about to slander Chris Paul. Not on my watch.
People come to me and say, Spade, what happened to Harden? What happened to Harden? In game 6 and 7, Harden came out the gate playing really good basketball. In game 6 and 7, the third quarter belongs to Golden State as it has. This ain't anything new. If you watch basketball, you know Golden State is a third quarter team. They don't really care about the lead you got in the first half. And for that reason, I'm saying sports fans, we never take anything. Look, the Warriors can be down 25 points at the half, and people still tune in because we've seen these guys go on those runs. Yep. They got the type of talent over there to do it. We've seen them do it. And they're one of those teams that when they see the ball go through the hoop, they get going. And if they're in the Oracle, it's a wrap because the ball goes through the hoop. Those fans go crazy. Steph starts shimmying. They get super arrogant and cocky. The Currys be in the crowd cheering. What's the little girl named Riley be cheering? And everything goes crazy. If you're on the other end of that run, it's a wrap for you. But I'm going to tell you a few things I noticed, LaParis, that I don't know if the average sports fan caught. So if you don't mind, let me just talk my talk. No, wait. I'm going to go last. LaParis, game 7, what did you see? Did the Rockets have a chance? What do you see?
They came out, and I was like, okay. I felt like the game was in their grasp. It was right there. And I'm going to tell you what happened. Now, y'all know I'm a Gerald Green fan. Gerald Green's my guy. Gerald Green went 1-7 off the bench, played 20 minutes. But I'm looking at the rest of the bench, man. Ryan Anderson, 8 minutes. Joe Johnson, 5 minutes. Joe Johnson had played 5 minutes, took 1 shot. Like I said, Joe Green 1-7 off the bench, had 3 points, played 20 minutes. Ryan Anderson didn't attempt a shot in 8 minutes. Let me tell you what else happened. Trevor Ariza. You want to talk about a guy. How do you play 41 minutes? 41 minutes in a basketball game with James Harden and get open look after open look and not make 1 shot, not attempt 1 free throw, go 0-9 from 3. He went 0-12. And I tweeted this, man. I think if I remember correctly, Spade, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if the trade was on the fritz for Melo, and I know Melo ain't have no amazing season either. I don't think Melo's going 0 for. But
nope.
I think Chris Paul vetoed a trade because the Knicks or somebody. I think it was either the Knicks. The Knicks wanted Ariza, or it was a trade together where Ariza had to be involved in the deal, and Chris Paul was like, "Nah, you're not trading my boy."
That's his boy. That's his boy.
41 minutes, 0 points, 0 field goals made, 12 field goals attempted, 0 of 9 from 3, man. 0 of 9 from 3. That's terrible. You're not winning a game with a guy on the floor that's going 0 for 12, man. And the crazy thing is, I tweeted, like, I don't want to say Ariza is washed, but Ariza gotta go. Ariza gotta go. Spade, I have been hard on guys like Damari Carroll, Nicholas Batum, guys like that. I guarantee you give Damari Carroll 12 field goals, 9 from the corner, 3-wise, Damari Carroll making 4 of them hoes. Like, Damari Carroll is a better fit for the Rockets than Trevor Ariza. Now, I don't know if the Nets would be willing to trade Carroll, but Carroll would be a fit because the same thing they want Ariza to do, you can get that from Damari Carroll. He's going to defend. He's going to rebound, he's going to get steals, and he can knock down them corner threes. He can knock down that three-pointer. Give me Damari Carroll, who I've been extremely hard on for the amount of money he made, and not thinking he deserved. His production isn't equal to or greater than his production. His production is agreed to that isn't equal to that value of contract that he received. But Trevor Ariza, this was a travesty, bruh. 41 minutes? That's a travesty, man. Everybody else, I'm looking at the other starters. James Harden, 32 points, 12 of 29. Eric Gordon, 23 points, 9 of 22. Clint Capella, 20 points, 9 of 10 from the field, 9 rebounds. Even PJ Tucker, 14 points. PJ was out there giving it his all.
He was my X
points, 12 rebounds, 4 steals. Come on, man. Trevor Ariza, as bad as I want to say, I think if they had Chris Paul, they win this game. That's what I feel.
I do too.
That's what I feel. But if Trevor Ariza gave them anything, I think they win this game.
Let me tell you what I saw. And man, I know y'all was ready for it. People was tweeting me like, Spade, what do you think? I was like, wait to the podcast. What I saw was piss poor coaching on the behalf of the Houston Rocket coaching staff. I'm going to put so much of the blame on those guys because, you know, people were saying, if James Harden sees the 3 not falling, why is he still taking the 3? I blame Trevor a little bit too, but still, Trevor didn't check himself in and out the game. Look, man, it's other guys on the floor. Even if they play Trevor because they like his length, and he did an okay job of defending Durant. All right, he's got long arms. He's a defensive player. I get it. I feel like you got other players over there that's defenders that don't give you much on the offensive end, like Luke Richard and Bob Mute, who has played great in the postseason defensively, who didn't log a single minute.
And I'm gonna tell you why. He's been dealing with a nagging shoulder injury, and because of that shoulder injury, he hasn't been comfortable pulling. Like, usually he'll get some of them corner threes, he'll pull them things and knock them down. Like, he's been solid, even shooting them corner threes. He's been able to knock it down for the Rockets all season. But this shoulder injury got him second guessing his shot, and he hasn't, ever since he came back from his injury, he hasn't been the same player. But go ahead. Just a little backstory,
bro. Yeah, I that's good stuff. I like that. In Game 6, the Rockets came out firing. They had like a 40-point quarter. They had like a 39-point quarter. And look, they end up losing that game. Big run in the third quarter that I watched Mike D'Antoni stand on the sideline, not call a single timeout in a timely fashion, and watch these guys get ran. And folks was tweeting me like, can't blame that on D'Antoni. They're getting good looks. Yes, the hell you can. When the good looks ain't falling and the other team making shots, you call a timeout. They do that in Little League basketball. You call a timeout, you settle your troops. Also, listen, man, Houston got this whole analytics thing where they don't like mid-range shots. If you can't get a shot at the basket, they rather you take a 3. Hey, man, you know, we've all heard it. We've all said it. You live by the 3, you die by the 3. The Rockets have literally been dying from 3 in this postseason. Not just in this series, in this postseason. The games that they've won, the 3s have fallen. The games that they've lost, the 3s have not been falling. I'm going to give you a fun fact. James Harden was shooting like 20-something%. I wish I had the exact number. 20-something%. I want to say 28% from 3 in this series against Golden State. I think in the postseason, he shot 28% from 3. You know what he shot from 2? He shot like 50% from 2. He shot like 50% from 2. And if, as a coach, analytics specialist, I don't give a damn what title you put on him. If you, look, here's where a coach is valuable, LaParis. You and I always say, we feel like coaches get too much credit sometime. At the end of the day, you can have the scheme all day. The players got to execute.
That's right.
players sometimes lose themselves in the moment. All right? You in the game, somebody just came down and gave you a bucket. The competitor in you, I'm going to come down, I'm going to pull this 3 back, I'm going to give him a 3 back. The guy standing on the sideline, you're removed from the action. You're back. That's one of the reasons why a coach can't be on the damn floor. You're removed from the action. You got a bird's eye view. You get a timeout and you go to your players and you say, look, the 3 isn't falling. They are expecting us to take the 3, put it on the floor and blow right by them. That's your job as a coach. Stop the momentum of the other team. Realize when you got to switch up your game plan and your scheme, and I didn't see any of that from D'Antoni. And it bothers me because anytime the Rockets look good, oh, that's D'Antoni's system. Look at D'Antoni. Oh, D'Antoni's system.
Let me interrupt you,
anytime the Rockets look bad, it's James Harden fault. Look at James Harden. Why James Harden keep shooting them threes? Why won't the guy in the damn suit say stop shooting threes? Call a timeout. Do something.
Let me interrupt you, Spade. I agree with you. But, and I got another fun fact. As a team from 2, they were shooting 67% from 2. And I agree with you. But I remember I had a conversation with you. I got to be that guy. I had a conversation. I don't know. I want to say it was on the show. Might have been off camera. But I want to say it was on the show. I had a talk with you about James Harden and James Harden going to the rack and not realizing that he was not going to get those same calls. You remember we had that conversation? We was not going to get those same calls that he was getting all season. And I said, I think it's the coach. It's the coach that needs to go to James. Like, James, you ain't about to get them calls. And you was like, you told me.
Because he lost in the moment.
Yes, that's what you told me. You told me that you think James Harden should be able to recognize that. But I was like, I think the coach should be, that like coaches say, or at least my coaches, football a little different. My football coach used to say the eyes of the sky don't lie. So that means like the cameras and all that. D'Antoni supposed to be these players' eyes, ears, and all that. So if they caught up in the moment and he sees something not going right, when they come in on timeout, TV timeout breaks, or halftime, he need to be like, James, you ain't getting those calls. You're not getting these same calls you was getting all year. Pull a mid-range. Instead of trying to like do some crazy thing with your arms to try to draw the foul, just finish at the cup. Just try your best to finish at the cup. Now I totally agree. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I totally agree.
You're right.
I totally agree with you that I need more from D'Antoni. But maybe this is just me and you. We always felt like D'Antoni was one of those guys who's been offense, shoot threes, 7 seconds or less. But if we look around what D'Antoni's been, D'Antoni's system ain't never paid off for anybody.
It ain't never paid off.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So
it ain't never paid off.
I mean, with what you saying, do you think it's time for them to change it up, get a new coach?
I'm not gonna say that, but it's time to start placing blame where blame. I mean, they had they was the number 1 seeded team in the West. They got put out by the number 2 seeded team in the conference finals. After their starting point guard was injured. So I'm not willing to say that their season was a disaster, it was a failure. I'm just sick of people not placing blame. Now, I go back to what you said about James. I feel like James is an elite level player, and an elite level player should be able to remove himself from the situation to see what's working and what's not working.
Okay.
I don't take all blame away from James Harden, even though that's my favorite player. I want him to realize that. But if he isn't, why are we paying a coach? If he don't see the mistakes, what are you here for?
I don't have any argument there, man.
I'm going to tell you what somebody said. I don't even remember whose quote it was. Somebody said, man, I feel like if Chris Paul is in this game, he gets James Harden going. He tells James Harden to stop selling for them threes. What the hell is the coach for? What is he there for? Something else I'm sick of? If I see him clap for another missed 3, I'm going to lose my shit. They'll take a 3 and miss, and he'll clap. He's happy for it because it's a 3. He went on record and said next season he wants his team to attempt 50 threes per game.
That's absurd.
What the fuck? Like, I'm so sick of this dude, bro.
That's absurd, man.
Listen, man, I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
It sounds like you want D'Antoni out of there. That's what it sounds like.
I want him to tighten up. Like, his system was fine at times. And they did so well because of his system. But when they failed, it was because of his system. He don't have a plan B. I want him to realize, okay,
MT,
this is what we're going to do. We're a 3-point shooting team. But when this shit ain't working, here's what we're gonna do. Like, I don't know any high level competitive anything that you can only have a plan A. You better have something else. And D'Antoni's got nothing else.
And
nothing else.
That's how I judge a coach's value right there. That's how I judge a coach's value, because we talk about adjustments, and like I said, I always talk about football because I played that sport. So when somebody's running the ball down your throat, you gotta make adjustments. Whether that means bring a safety up in the box, whatever you gotta do, you gotta make adjustments. And D'Antoni, in my opinion, made adjustments.
None.
He didn't make any adjustments. That's how I judge a coach's value. And then I look at a coach like a Brad Stevens. You look at Brad Stevens. He lost his 2 best players. He lost Gordon Hayward early, so he was able to shake that off early. He had more games to figure it out. But he lost Kyrie, and he was able to figure out. I felt like he put players in made adjustments, put them in a better position for that team to be successful. Now, of course, they didn't beat LeBron and all that. I understand that. But I felt like he made adjustments to make his team at least put up a damn fight. Like, they was at least fighting
every night.
Yeah, every night, man.
Let me give you a fun fact.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm saying this guy's name right. Dan Woik, looks like. And he has a Twitter account at Dan Woik Sports. This blew my mind, bro. I don't know if anybody realized this. The Warriors outscored the Rockets by 68 points in the 7 third quarters. They played 7 games. So in the 7 third quarters, if you put them all together, the Warriors won third quarter by 68 points.
Sheesh.
You want to hear something that's crazy? Bro, in the entire series, the Warriors only outscored the Rockets by 63 points. That was the only difference in these series, 63 points. But the third quarter had a 68-point skew. Look, man, I know I'm rambling and we need to move forward, so I'm going to try to close up with this. I heard Kevin Durant say something. I said, wow, that's really smart. Kevin Durant said, we knew because of Houston's offense that as much as James Harden dribbles, he was going to wear out. If you look at Game 6 and you look at Game 7, both of those games, the first half, James Harden, folks was tweeting me like, oh, James, we look good. He hooping. And then at the end of the game, folks is tweeting me like, what happened to James Harden? What happened to James Harden, man? Bruh. You can watch people who know basketball, and I'm not trying to come for y'all basketball knowledge, I'm not. People who know basketball, you know what happens at All-Star Weekend during the 3-point contest? People fatigue by the time they get to the end of the 3-point contest. Shooting those shots, you shoot, you use your legs, you use your arms. Yep. You fatigue by the time you get to the other side. You're tired. You're tired. For a 7-game series, all the dribbling and look, even when James don't get the shot off, that ISO shit that James do where he darting in and out, going through the legs and all of that shit takes energy, man. It pulls from your overall. Look, if you got a reservoir of stamina, I ain't talking about on some video game shit where you sprint, you get tired, you stop and it fills back up. I'm talking about the wear and tear on your body over an 82-game season and multiple rounds of the playoffs. All that shooting and all that dribbling takes a toll. And in those last 2 games, what you saw was a fatigued James Harden in the second half launching threes with no legs. That's why them shits wasn't falling. That's why they wasn't falling. And Golden State actually won that series because they allowed the Rockets to do what they do and then said, okay, now they're tired. Let's go for the kill. They essentially did the basketball version of what Floyd Mayweather does in every boxing fight. First 3 or 4 rounds, go ahead, throw your punches. Throw them. We're just going to dot around. We're going to dance. We're going to lay on the ropes. We might grab you, hug up a little bit. Once we see you fatiguing, we going for the juggler, and it worked. Congratulations to Golden State, man. They advanced to the finals, and we're going to talk that later in this show. But, man, I want people to put some blame. Look, do James Harden deserve some blame? Absolutely. But, damn it, if y'all don't tag Mike D'Antoni trash ass in some of this slander, if y'all don't give him some of this damn slander for standing over there clapping for missed threes, for not calling timeouts, for not effectively using his roster, for using a 6-man rotation,
Crazy.
What?
That's just crazy.
What? And yeah, I know when they put Ryan Anderson out there, Steph Curry went at him. They would call, whoever Ryan Anderson was guarding would bring a pick, and they would run the damn screen to make sure they got Ryan Anderson on Steph Curry, and he went on him. I think he scored 3 straight times. I understand it. You say, damn, we can't really put Joe Johnson out there. He's not that fast. You can't really put Ryan Anderson out there. He's not that fast. But at some point, you gotta mix it up. I don't care if you gotta call a damn zone defense. You gotta mix it up. You gotta find. That's coaching. Find a way to use what you got on your bench. That's coaching.
This is game 7. This is all or nothing. This is it. This is it. If you ain't pulling out the kitchen sink, if you ain't pulling out all stops, pulling out the kitchen sink, everything out the refrigerator, then I don't get it, man. And I want to say this, and then I'm gonna move on. You know, I was seeing people saying, "Well, James Harden shot 29 times." This is the same way I felt about Westbrook.
Who the hell else gonna shoot?
I asked people that are basketball people that are like, "Yo, is 41% bad? Is that a bad field goal percentage? Is that a bad field goal percentage?" Because James Harden shot 41%.
Yeah. That 2 of 13 from 3 is a bad shooting percentage.
I
but
understand
that's when I want my coach to come in and say, "Hey, James, you know what? I know we're a 3-point shooting team. Plan A ain't working. Hit them with Plan B."
I mean,
to me, if you a coach and you show up with Plan A and Plan A only, I can't give you much props.
You look at Ariza 0-9 from 3, PJ Tucker 2 of 5 from 3, Eric Gordon 2 of 13, James 2 of 13, Gerald Green 1 of 4, Joe Johnson 0 of 1. 0 of 1. I mean, goodness, when are you going to the team and saying, "Yo, they ain't falling. They ain't falling tonight."
44 threes.
Yeah, 7 of 44 is absurd. And if I'm not mistaken, they broke the damn record for most missed threes.
One last thing, and I promise I'll shut up, bro. It was a lot of controversy about officiating, and that seems to be the narrative with a lot of these NBA postseason games. It's a few bad calls, and I'll be the first to say these officials are not perfect. They're going to make mistakes, and I kind of hate that they're so heavily scrutinized. Mm-hmm. We got 318 cameras in the arenas, and you can see every angle. You can see angles that these humans can't see. You can slow it down. You know, you're not seeing it in real time. There was some bad calls. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of people saying, "Man, it is some bad calls in this thing, man." And, you know, I follow Worldwide Wob. Shout out to Wob. Wob went live after one of these games and said, they are not giving James Harden the calls that they've been giving him the entire season. And it's tough if you James Harden, because you're thinking, that's a foul. And they're not calling it. And I know that the postseason is officiated differently. Before somebody states the obvious, I know that. But somebody says, "Spade, the Rockets cannot blame officiating if they missing all those threes." But you kind of can a little bit, though. Look, once you get frustrated, once you get flustered and you start to play different, it affects your play. I play video games. At some point when I get pissed off, I tell people, this is my last one, because I'm frustrated now. Now I'm pissed off and I can't perform to the level I need to perform to. Even though they are physical specimens, the mental aspect of this game is bigger than the average person realizes. Once you are mentally checked out, the game is over, man. But like I said, the Golden State Warriors, I don't take anything from them. They're a hell of a team. We knew that coming into the season. They was favored to win this series when we thought Chris Paul was going to be healthy. They was favored to win anyway. So I don't take anything from them. Congratulations to those guys. And LaParis, we can go ahead and move forward. Mike D'Antoni, you're going to do better, though. As long as I'm around with a microphone, you're going to do better.
Well, while y'all tagging D'Antoni, tag Ariza in that shit, too. His trash ass. Shit.
Steven Jackson had a post
when you ever hear me say DeMarre Carroll over anybody, like,
never.
They need to get DeMarre Carroll, because he is knocking them shots down. They need DeMarre Carroll.
They need to get, but we'll move forward.
You said they need to get.
I'll tell you who they need to get, but we'll move forward. I ain't even gonna say now. We'll move forward.
I know what you're gonna say. Don't say it, bro. No.
Yeah. Let's go.
Not allowed. Let's move on to the NBA Finals. If you guys didn't know and you were living under a rock, Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors are in the NBA Finals, and Game 1 happened. Game 1 happened. It ended with a score of 124 to 114 in favor of the Warriors. But man, oh man, you want to talk about a game? Like it had everything in this game. It was damn near a scuffle. It was a boneheaded play. It was LeBron scoring half 100. I mean,
it was some questionable officiating.
It was
once
it was some
again.
officiating. I mean, it was just the game was all over the place, Spade. Game one, we're going to talk about game one first, and then I want to get your thoughts on the NBA Finals as a whole. But let's just start with game one, Spade. Cleveland Cavaliers, Golden State Warriors. Go.
Amazing performance by LeBron James. I mean, I refuse to engage in that greatest of all time. I refuse to compare eras, and I refuse to compare two guys that don't even play the same damn position. But let me tell you something. As of right here today, and I tweeted this, I don't care. I'm not taking any shine from any great prior to now. But as of now, we are watching today's greatness. It doesn't get any better than LeBron James, and that was put on display in game one.
Mm-hmm.
Look, a few months ago, people was talking about, I don't know, maybe Kevin Durant's the best player in the league. This postseason, LeBron James has put enough distance between himself and Kevin Durant that you probably going to need Google Maps to find your way from KD to LeBron. That's how much separation it is between the two of them. So I don't want to hear that shit for a long time. The storyline obviously is going to be how this game ended. LaParis, it was a really good game, and we need to talk about how the game ended, okay? Like LaParis say, if you don't know, maybe you're not really into basketball. Maybe you're a football guy, you tune into this show and say, I could just click off the video after the football segment, but let me hear what's going on in the NBA. Let me tell you what happened, man. At the end of this game, down one, George Hill gets a chance to go to the charity stripe. They call it the charity stripe. They call them free throws because you get a chance to clear your mind and shoot two shots with the defense not affecting you. All right? George Hill made the first, tying the game up. George Hill missed the second. It was still 4.7 seconds on the clock. J.R. Smith got the rebound, dribbled out of the paint into the corner, beelined up to the top of the perimeter where LeBron James was waiting with his hands out thinking that J.R. was bringing the ball to him. Two Golden State Warrior defenders ran to LeBron James. They thought that was the game plan too. At some point, LeBron realized that it appeared as though J.R. Smith thought that they had the lead and he was trying to dribble out the clock.
What?
Brian pointed to the corner saying, pass it. You got, like, George Hill was open in the corner for three. After a while, LeBron tried to call a timeout. It was pandemonium. I left out. The Cavaliers also had a timeout. So if we're talking about coaching, this is my phrase for the week, apparently. What the f*** was Ty Lue doing this whole thing? But again, the pass goes to the corner, and, George Hill tried to put a shot up. The shot was blocked, and they go into overtime where they eventually lose the game by 10 points. A few things we need to talk about, LaParis. First of all, we got to rewind all the way back, and I want to talk through each one of these things with you and get your opinion. It was a lot of people critical of LeBron that he passed to George Hill. How do you feel about that?
That's what Brian do, man.
It's what Brian do. He make the smart play.
He make the smart play, and if that means getting his teammates a better shot than one that he has to take, that's what he's going to do. I have no problem with that. We've seen LeBron do this numerous times. I mean, I don't even understand why people are still complaining about when LeBron do that. That's what he do. He's going to make the basketball play. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that either. All right, now let's move to the next point. George Hill gets fouled. He goes to the charity stripe for a chance at two. He makes one.
Okay.
He misses the second one.
Okay.
How much blame are you putting on him for missing?
That free throw? The crazy thing is, me and you talk off camera, and you kind of talked me off the ledge with George Hill. You said, this is what Spade said, y'all. I said, man, because of what J.R. Smith did, people really letting George Hill slide. Spade said, man, you can't really be mad at George Hill. It's a basketball thing. People miss free throws. And, in fairness to George Hill, he's an 80% free throw shooter. He ain't ain't like he's a 90.
He's a good free throw shooter.
Ain't like he's a 98% free throw shooter or something. 80% is a good percentage, but that means he missed 20% of them. So
yeah,
there's a chance he could have missed. So you kind of talked me off the ledge of that because I'm like, man, George Hill really escaping. You wish George Hill went up there and knocked both of them down and we ain't having this conversation. But That's not the case. He missed. And you talked me off the ledge and said, man, that's kind of a basketball play. People miss free throws. Mm-hmm. So you talked me off. I don't have a problem. I have a problem with him missing a free throw, of course. But how I felt like he should be getting hammered, I agree with you. People miss free throws.
Let me tell you why I don't. Let me tell you why I'm not upset with him for missing the free throw.
Okay.
And y'all, I don't know how y'all going to feel about this. Listen, man. For those that don't know, the first half ended with Steph Curry making a half-court three-pointer.
That's true.
He shot that shit from half-court and he switched it. We've seen him do it before. It was damn near 5 seconds on the clock. So if he makes this free throw, Golden State takes it out, calls a timeout, advances it to half-court, and they got 5 seconds to score 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's a lot of folks that were saying, if George Hill make the free throw, the game's over. No, it's not. I mean, it could be.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I hope
it
that's
could
not
be.
what I said.
It's 5 damn seconds on the clock. So, honestly, I'm not saying I'm glad that he missed, but honestly, him missing and them getting the rebound is the best possible outcome. He made the first. They missed the second. They get the rebound. Now, let's get into where I got a problem at.
Okay.
If you're Ty Lue, all right, somebody said they put this blame on Brandon. LaPierre, I'm going to ask you. They said usually what happens is somebody on the court, usually the point guard, obviously not the point guard in this case, that's George Hill, he's at the stripe. You probably want to put that blame on LeBron. I don't know if blame is the right word, but you want to put that responsibility on LeBron. It's usually somebody on the court that they got a game plan going into it. At the free throw line, they saying this. Hey, if he missed the first one, I'm just making up a scenario. He going to miss the second one on purpose. Y'all going to crash the boards. You're not yelling this out, of course. But, I mean, it's some dialogue. Hey, look, if you make the first, if you miss the second, we got to make sure it's got to be some way, shape, form, or fashion communicated amongst the players on the court. What happens if this shot is missed? Who was communicating that? All right, somebody say maybe Bryan, that's Bryan's responsibility. I don't know. I feel like, once again, you pay a guy to stand on the sideline to know all this shit. That's the coach's job. What I want is this. Okay, the shot misses. Ty Lue is floating that hand right here. They get the board. Okay, maybe you're going to wait to see what's going to happen. After like a second or two, I want Ty Lue yelling in a referee's ear. What the f*** was Ty Lue doing, bro? I want Ty Lue grabbing a ref. Time out, time out, time out. Look, nobody knew what was going on. And that's not okay. But it's never okay for the coach to not know what's going on.
Yeah, he posed to be.
What was Ty Lue doing?
Yeah.
Look, I want my coach to know. If by chance we miss and we get the board, I want an instant timeout. You got to be thinking that shit before it happens. You the coach. You're the coach.
I mean,
and we'll move forward.
We remember that Ty Lue had left the team. He was under immense stress. I mean,
yeah, I know. Maybe that ain't the job for him then.
Sometimes
coaching
pressure
ain't
busts
easy.
Pipes, and he wasn't in his right state. I'm not saying right state of mind, like not there. I'm just saying maybe he over there looking like, oh my God, what's going on too. But
he was in spectator mode. But you can't afford for the coach to be that. He needs to be ready when that shot comes off. If you get the board, I want an instant time out. I'm telling it. Look, I grab a ref before that shot and I go, if he miss and we get the board, I want a timeout. That shit is premeditated.
And I mean, that's what
good coaches do.
That's what separates the good coaches from the great ones, Spade. I mean, that's what separates them. Like a coach, you can't get overwhelmed by the moment, and I felt like he was. I felt like Lue was overwhelmed by the moment, and I felt like I'm looking at the box score. I felt like it was some other players overwhelmed by the moment. I felt like Jordan Clarkson was overwhelmed by the moment. You know, I always talk about you know. I told in the last show, I said, Spade, maybe I think Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance is better than what they really are. And I still think Jordan Clarkson is a good player. But I just felt that moment, game 1, NBA final, I felt like that was a big moment for Jordan Clarkson. I felt like he was a deer in headlights, man. Jordan Clarkson played 17 minutes.
He was shook.
He played 17 minutes. He had 4 points. He shot 2 of 9, 0 of 3 from 3. I mean, I just felt like that moment was too big. Now, Larry Nance came off the bench, 19 minutes, had 9 points, 4 of 6 from the field. He did miss 3 free throws. He was 1 of 4 from the stripe, but he had 11 rebounds. Larry Nance damn near had a double-double off the bench in 19 minutes. I can't complain about that kid performance. Kyle Korver, 16 minutes, 1 of 3 from 3 points, and I mean, the crazy thing, Jordan Clarkson was the first guy off the bench before Kyle Korver.
Yep.
I mean, it was a lot of questionable things. Spade, you talked about the JR play, man. I mean, it's just a boneheaded play, man. I know you don't want to come down hard on JR, but JR actually did a post game conference after he said he knew the game was tied. He knew the game was tied, and
lie again, JR.
And it looks like during that exchange on the court with LeBron, he said, "I thought we had the lead," or something like that.
I thought we were ahead.
I thought we were ahead, or something to that extent.
I thought we were ahead.
And I mean, it's just a terrible moment for JR because I don't think he's going to ever. I think this could be J.R. Smith's Nick Anderson moment. You remember Nick Anderson at the free throw line?
Oh, yeah, at the stripe. Yes, sir.
This could be that moment, and I'm hoping J.R. is able to bounce back, have a good game 2, so he can, sometimes you gotta feel like I gotta pay my team back, because a lot of people is blaming this loss on J.R. Spade. I even made a joke to you off camera. I said, man, J.R. Smith pretty much dove into Klay legs. People thought Klay Thompson was hurt. Klay actually came back and played 45 minutes and came back and shot 5 of 10 from 3, 8 of 16 from the field, had 24 points. So I'm like, damn, Klay couldn't even hurt JR right. I mean, JR couldn't even hurt Klay right that game. The way he dove, he dove into Klay legs and actually made Klay better. Like, Klay came in the game and it was flame on after that. It's crazy. But
LePage, let me tell you something else, bro. I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me tell you something else. I think it's time. I was pissed off. I was offended that Rodney Hood refused to come off the bench. He deserved to be punished. I felt like he was punished. LePage, I think it's time to bury the hatchet with Rodney Hood. I think it makes no sense for Rodney Hood to get 0 minutes. Okay. Rodney Hood, if nothing else, is a pretty good two-way player. The whole reason why he was pissed and didn't want to come off the bench late in that one game is because he felt like he should have been playing the whole game. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Rodney Hood's an all-star. Rodney Hood is a pretty good two-way player. And the way, and I like Clarkson as well as you do. I like Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson was shooketh. He was shook.
He was. The moment was too big. And maybe it won't be in game 2. But I might have to agree with you, Spade. I might have to agree with you. I mean, Rodney Hood at that juncture, he couldn't give you anything worse than what Clarkson.
Could have been worse.
I mean, you can't even say Korver played bad. Like, Korver was plus 12 in the plus minus. He only took 3 shots. He took 3 shots.
And they couldn't keep him out there because he's a defensive liability.
So, I mean,
he's a defensive liability.
So,
that's why he
Korver's
only
a defensive
got
liability, so you can't get his offense. Jordan Clark, the moment maybe, at least in game 1, let me say that. At least in game 1, the moment was too big for Jordan Clarkson. Rodney Hood couldn't give you anything worse. Spade.
It's time.
Spade. It was also a moment when LeBron James blocked Steph Curry's shot. They kind of had an exchange. Tristan Thompson walked down. They kind of had it out with Tristan Thompson. Who was it? Who took the jump shot? Was it Klay? Took the jump shot when Klay?
It was Livingston.
Livingston took the jump shot. They say that Tristan Thompson kind of threw an elbow. Everybody was, oh my God, he tried to hit him in the head. I didn't see that. Apparently, the ref saw that. Ended up giving Tristan Thompson a flagrant 2, threw him out the game.
The ejection.
And an ejection, gave him a flagrant 2, ejected him from the game. The NBA actually came back after the game and downgraded it to a flagrant 1, and they fined TT, which is fair. I didn't feel like I seen him aim for old boy head, but the ref saw that, and it kind of escalated into like a little pushing match. Draymond gonna be Draymond. He came down clapping all in TT face. Was waving by, and Tristan Thompson, he wasn't having it. Kind of mushed him with the ball in his hand, and ended up being fined for that. Spade, is this a big deal with the LeBron exchange with Curry and TT and Draymond? Do we expect more of these shenanigans in the games moving forward?
I think it's going to be some jarring back and forth. I got to be honest here. This isn't going to be a popular opinion, LePage, but I think the league got it right when they went back and downgraded the call.
I do too.
And I think it's right that they did not suspend Kevin Love, who deserves suspension for coming off the bench. So I know y'all like, wait a minute, Spade, you talking in a big circle. Either he deserves it or he don't. Because you got to look at the snowball effect. First of all, the ejection was just asinine. He never should have been ejected. They ejected Tristan Thompson, and that led to those other events. So if they don't get that call wrong, you don't get the Shevin match, you don't get Kevin Love coming off the bench, and it would have been double jeopardy, I feel like, to suspend Kevin Love for coming off the bench for reacting to a scuffle that was a reaction to taunting, that was a reaction to a badass call from the officiating crew. So that one right there was something that I felt like they actually got right. Now let's talk about something they got wrong, LePairs. The charging play. It was a play where LeBron James stepped in front of Kevin Durant, drew a charge.
Yep.
It was called a charge on the floor. The officials went back to review it. A charge a charge can only be overturned. I can't say can. A charge, I don't ever remember a charge ever being overturned. You go back and you review whether or not the charge taker was in the restricted area. That's what you go back and look for. Are they in the restricted area or are they not? LeBron James was clearly out of the restricted area, and they went back and reviewed if he was moving or not and overturned the call. Which is something that stumped not only fans but NBA players alike. I do believe it was Jamal Crawford. I could be wrong on what account tweeted it. I follow so many NBA accounts, and I see retweets from so many people. But some NBA players said, I have never seen a charge overturned for a player not being in the restricted area. I've never seen it. These things, I'm telling you, man, after a bad call, it messes with a player's mental. Don't get me wrong. I know what somebody going to say, Spade. These are the best players in the world. They pros. They got to be even kill. I get it. Best players in the world. I don't necessarily feel like that took Bryan out of his game. But these types of calls, they stop momentum. You know, now you got guys, now they got a chance to rest. We're going to TV timeouts. They looking at the same shit over and over and over. Got to put a little bit of pressure on these officials too, man. They got to step up. That one right there, I believe they got wrong.
I agree, and I mean it's tough when you LeBron, man. You come out, bruh. You score 51 points, 19 to 32 from the field. Now we just said James Harden went something to 20 something, and it was like 41%, and we said that's not bad. LeBron went 19 of 32 for 59.4% from the field, man. That's just amazing. 10 of 11 from the stripe. 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and lost the damn game. He got 21. He got 21 and 13 from Kevin Love. J.R. Smith had... man, listen. It just sucks to lose a game that way, man. I mean, what more can LeBron... And Spade, I seen you during the week. You know, Spade is there for the banter. Spade during the week was going back and forth with a ton of guys saying, you know, Spade said there's no shame in LeBron James losing to these 4 All-Stars when, you know, it's basically LeBron James. I mean, Kevin Love showed up. He went 19 of 20, 45%. Kevin Love played well. But Spade said there's no shame in LeBron losing to this team. This team is a great team. And people was on Spade kind of hard. But let me just say this. It must be nice if you Kevin Durant when you can shoot 36% from the field, and then you got a guy like Steph Curry getting 29 points, 11 to 23, 47%. You got a Klay Thompson, 24 points, 8 to 16 from the field, 50% from the 8 to 16 from the field, 50% from the field. A guy like Draymond going 13 points, 5 and 9 from the field, 55%. I mean, Draymond had 11 rebounds, 9 dimes. LeBron pretty much got to do it all. Then you could bring in a guy like Sean Livingston, 18 minutes, 10 points. Then you could bring in JaVale McGee for 6 minutes. He give you 4 points. It must be nice to have guys like that. It must be nice. Even Jordan Bell. 12 minutes, 4 points, 2 or 3 from the field. It must be nice. I mean, I'm looking at the box score when these guys got and you know it don't have to be, oh my gosh, well these guys score. I know what people want to say, but they're going to say, well, those little 4 points and 10. Yeah, if LeBron get that from his teammates, they win the game. LeBron get that. JR had 10 points. Nobody else was in double figures. Nobody else. I mean, Kyle Korver 3 points. Jeff Green 7 points. Clarkson 4 points. Nobody else was in double figures but J.R. Smith, who shot 3 of 10. I mean, I like the way. Let me just say this, and then we can move on, Spade. I like the way the Cavs, aside from the third quarter, we know what we're going to get from the third quarter. The Cavs got to be better. The Warriors are going to explode in the third quarter. Cavs got to be better. But I like how the Cavs played this game. They uglied the game up. I mean, it ended up being a high scoring game because of the overtime. But I mean, it was a close game down to the wire. It was a close, and I feel like for the Cavs to have a chance, they gotta ugly this game up, man. They gotta ugly this game up. It gotta be one of them games when we looking at it like, damn, it's a great game, but damn, it's 90 to 90 or 90 to 91. They cannot allow these guys. They can't get into this back and forth running gun thing with the Warriors. They're gonna lose because LeBron can't do it all by himself. So it gotta be that type of game. It gotta be that type of game.
I'll tell you what, bro. My question for you is, as well as Brian played, as well as Kevin Love played, for this to still result in a loss, do you feel like this team can play in it? I think this is probably, and it's unfair to say because really only the two stars played great, but this might be one of the best performing games in the postseason. Can they play better? Can they play better than they played in game one, in your opinion?
I don't know, man. I want to say probably as a team collectively, I would hope they can play better, but this is a disheartening loss, man. You gotta. I mean, the greats do it, but after you lose this heartbreaking loss like this, the game is right there in your grasp, and you lose a game like this, it's a disheartening loss, man. It's going to take a lot for you to get up for game two, man. And I hate to say it, I think the Warriors win this series, but I think game two is a blowout. I think it's a blowout. I think the Warriors blow the Cavs out.
Well, I tell you what, Ty Lue says that his team's confidence isn't shaken. The last two segments, man, we talked about the players are taking all of the blame. And we're talking about great players, and I understand placing blame on the leaders of these teams. I understand it. But the coaches flat out, they just getting let off the hook right here. Enough of that, LePage. Let's move on. Let's have some fun, bro.
Let's get it, man. I feel bad for them, man.
I do too, because I don't think they can play any better.
It's going to be hard for them to recover after this.
Hey, man, and the nerve of the most hated team in professional sports to get let off the hook by a meltdown like that and still have the audacity to talk trash.
Boy, you got on the topic. I got to ask the people. Are we buying Draymond as a tough guy? People are Strong Arm Sports, the people that support this show, are we buying Draymond Green as a tough guy? Because, I mean, Draymond Green, he was like, I guess Kendrick Perkins was on the sideline and he was talking something, and Draymond Green was doing the pom-poms thing, and allegedly he was referring that to Kendrick Perkins because Big Kendrick ain't suiting up. He basically calling him a cheerleader. Are we buying Draymond Green as a tough guy? Do you buy it, Spade? Because I don't.
I buy him as a hell of a trash talker. But unfortunately, in today's NBA, we'll never get a chance to see if he's tough or not, because none of this gen is gonna do anything but stand in each other's face and wait till the rest get there. Ain't nobody throwing no punches no more, bro. Yeah, so we'll never know. I think he's a hell of a trash talker, and you can ask Paul Pierce about that. But I don't think he'll bust a grape in a food fight.
And that's all, man.
Bro, let's have some fun.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! Shout out to The Ringer. TheRinger.com played whistleblower on an investigation that, quite frankly, it threw the NBA world upside down. All right, I got a lot of information here, and I'm gonna try my best to get through it quickly. It probably won't go that quick. All right, in February, The Ringer received an anonymous tip that Bryan Colangelo, the Philadelphia 76ers president of basketball operations, had been secretly operating 5 Twitter accounts. Since then, we have scrutinized and archived those accounts in an attempt to verify the source's claims that their longtime NBA executive has been using them as a platform to criticize NBA players, including Joel Embiid, Jahlil Okafor, and Nerlens Noel, publicly debate the decisions of its own coaching staff, telegraphed the 2017 trade in which the Sixers acquired the #1 overall draft pick that would become Markelle Fultz, and disclosed non-public medical information about Jahlil Okafor and gossip about Embiid and Fultz. Now, let me jump to where things get good, all right? On Tuesday, May 22nd, I emailed, and this is all on the Ringers. Look, I'll put this in the description. I'm not taking credit for any of this. I want you guys to go through and read it because I'm just going to paraphrase it. May 22nd, I emailed the Sixers and shared the names of 2. LaParis, how many accounts did they find?
5.
We emailed the Sixers and shared the names of 2 of the accounts. I did not disclose our suspicion about the other 3 accounts, one of which, still balling, had been active earlier that day. I did this to see whether the partial disclosure would trigger any changes to the other accounts. On a follow-up call, the Philadelphia media representative told me that they would ask Colangelo whether he had any information about the 2 accounts. That afternoon, within hours of the call, all 3 of the accounts that I hadn't discussed with the team switched from public to private accounts, effectively taking them offline, including one that hadn't been active since December. The Still Ballin' account, which had been tweeting daily, has not posted since the morning of the 22nd when the email was sent. Now, I'd already been following this Still Ballin' account with an anonymous account of my own, which allowed me to still see activity after it went private. Since I contacted the Sixers, Still Ballin' has unfollowed 37 accounts with ties to Colangelo, including several of his son's college basketball teammates, a former coach of his son's high school team, and an account that shares the same name as the agent Warren Legary, who has represented Colangelo in the past. Stay tuned, folks. Later that day, the Sixers rep called back and he confirmed that one of the accounts did in fact belong to Colangelo. He said Colangelo denied any knowledge of the Eric Jr. account. When I asked whether he had discussed my inquiry with anyone else in the organization that afternoon, he said he only spoke with one person, Colangelo. All right. On Tuesday, May 29th, I contacted the Sixers to ask about the seemingly linked nature of all 5 accounts. And the team responded with a statement from Colangelo. Like many of my colleagues in sports, I've used social media as means to keep up with the news. While I've never posted anything whatsoever on social media, I use that filler 1234567 account referred to in the story to monitor our industry and other current events. The storyline is disturbing to me on many levels. I am not familiar with any of the other accounts that have been brought to my attention, nor do I know who is behind them or what their motives may be using them. And you can draw from your own conclusions. It was 5 accounts. They was linked in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Colangelo took ownership of one. It was very smart to not mention the other 3, but after blowing the whistle, they all went zero dark, whatever LeBron call is. They went to private. They unfollowed accounts that linked them, and now it's a big investigation. LaParis, based off that information, I got a series of questions. One,
yes, he got to be fired. Yes,
Colangelo.
Yes,
oh
he
shit.
got to be fired.
So you just
yes,
swinging for the fences
immediately.
Wow. So, but wait, he's still saying he's innocent. First of all, do you believe he's innocent?
No, because even it was also reports that it was his wife or somebody doing that crap.
Yeah.
How would his wife know that? He clearly had to tell. He gotta go, man. I'm sorry, he gotta go. And the crazy thing is, I think this. I don't know if he's the president of basketball operations. I don't know what he is, but whatever he do, he's good at it. I think this guy was up there in Toronto, basically built that team, if I'm not mistaken, with like Vince Carter and all them. I think he helped build USA basketball, and he was brought on to help build Philly. And basically, wherever this guy was at, he did a good job. But this is unacceptable, man. This is unacceptable. Not only are you spewing, Spade, me and you, and I'm going to just say this. I ain't going to say about what, but me and you have verbal fights all the time. That crap is between us. I wouldn't come up here and be like, or I wouldn't make a Twitter account and be like, word on the street is LaParis and K. Spade. I wouldn't do that shit. And he shouldn't do that shit, spewing, whether it be hateful tweets, negative tweets, tweets about injury, tweets about believing if a player is injured. He shouldn't do that shit. He shouldn't spread them rumors or spread that information, even if it's to his wife, his family, whatever. And damn sure not to no damn ghost accounts. Like, come on, man. He gotta go, man. He gotta go. He gotta go.
You know, the one tweet that really, really disturbed me, and it's a bunch of stuff. Like I said, I'm going to drop the link. You guys can go through and read all the stuff. The one tweet that really disturbed me, somebody just randomly tweeted, like, you know, the Sixers are doing Jahlil Okafor so bad, you know, why don't they just trade him, whatever. And one of these accounts came back and said, you should ask somebody in the Sixers organization if Jahlil Okafor passed his physical or not, because he probably failed his physical, and that's probably why they haven't dealt him. That's like, what is it called? Like patient to client? I'm jacking it up, but you can't disclose that type of information.
Doctor-patient confidentiality or something.
Yes, and Ja had failed a physical.
Come on,
so
man.
whoever tweeting this shit knows something. They ain't just shooting in the dark.
You ain't just pulling that out of rabbit's hat, man. Come on.
That's tough, bro.
Come on, man.
That's
He gotta go. He gotta go. I don't understand why he still got his job if he still do. He gotta go. He gotta go. He got to go. And like I said, I think if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it was either him or his father, but I know that damn Colangelo name is the name that helped build the Raptors, helped build Team USA, like USA basketball, you know, with putting Coach K and all those guys in those positions that they were in. And you know, he was brought into Philly for that reason. I know that Colangelo name. I don't know if it was him or his father. But this guy right here, this guy got to go. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Terrible.
What a coward.
It's terrible.
What a coward.
Yeah.
What a coward.
Put that out there about Ja. That
threw
one
his
was
wife
the one
under
I
the
was
bus
like,
like,
he
she's
gotta go.
trying to burn me or something. No, you were the one with the 5 burners. Trash. And then not even smart enough to change the email. Like, you got using your real, like, what an ass. He's an ass. This guy gotta go.
They said that he has been on the phone calling players, assuring them that it wasn't him. He's called Joel Embiid and said, "Hey, bro, this ain't me. I don't know who did this, but it ain't me."
He gotta go. Get him out of here.
Player, you don't know what to think. Whoever running these accounts also is a fan of Colangelo, and accuses people of being like Sam Hinkie fanboys, because Sam Hinkie get a lot of credit for where Philly is right now, and these accounts have come through and be like, Ben Simmons wouldn't even be in Philly if it wasn't for Colangelo. Y'all giving Sam Hinkie all this credit, but it ain't him. It's me. I mean, he didn't say me, but anyway.
But let me tell you.
Yeah, man, I'm going to be checking the comment section, LaParis. I want to see if people actually believe this guy when he says it's not him. And if it's not him, it's definitely somebody that he confides in that he pissed off. Because like me and LaParis talk about a lot. I talk to you about a lot of shit I really shouldn't talk to anybody about.
I was just about to say that, bro. You know personal stuff about me that only you know. I know personal stuff about you that only I know. If this crap just happened to pop up on Twitter, you'll be like, what the hell is going on? Come on, man.
Yep.
This guy got to go. This guy got to go. He got to go. I'm sorry, he got to go. I mean, 76ers pretty much got it figured out now. He got to go. I mean, he got to go. You ready to move on?
See. Yes, sir.
Spade, with everything that happened with J.R. Smith and the boneheaded plays, we're going to have some fun here. And we want you guys to participate in the comment section. Twitter, holla at us on Twitter. You can holla at us on email. However you want to get in contact with us. We everywhere. You can even comment on the podcast. You know, SoundCloud, you can write comments on the podcast there too. You can comment there. So, however you want to do it, we want you guys to participate. So, with everything that happened with J.R. Smith, you know, the bonehead play he made, his blunder, his not realizing, being cognizant of the time that was left, we started thinking, yo, what's your biggest memory of a player having a bad, just bonehead blunder of a play? And it got us to thinking, Spade, before I go, I'm going to let you go. And a lot of people are going to say things. I don't think Spade picked this one. I know I didn't. A lot of people want to say Chris Webber calling the timeout when they didn't have one left. Spade,
which is definitely a big one.
Yeah, definitely a big one. Spade, what's your biggest blunder bonehead play you can remember in sports?
Any chance I get to poke fun at the Dallas Cowboys, I like to do so. And boy, Dallas got a few of them. But my favorite, one of the reasons why the Cowboys get trolled a lot is because they don't have postseason. Because we
America's team. I ain't even hear what you said after that. Because we America's team.
America don't even like y'all. America don't even like y'all. We don't even want y'all no more. But a lot of people don't know this, but I believe this was in Tony Romo's first starting season.
Oh, boy.
Romo could have won. He could have won a postseason game.
Oh, boy.
It was a playoff game. I believe
boy.
the score was 21-20. I don't have it right here in front of me. I believe it was 21-20. And Dallas was in the red zone. It was dumb close. And they was going for a field goal that will win the game. It would be over. They will win.
Wow.
The snap comes to Romo, who, to my knowledge, is one of the few starting quarterbacks that hold a damn snap for the kicker. They had a starting quarterback doing it. He catches the ball. He tries to put it down. He bobbles it. The kicker can't kick it. I give him credit. He scooped it up and he took off. And he was running to the end zone and it was playing that music. Doom, 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 doom. And then the record scratched. Somebody just slammed his ass down to the ground. GG's, get your shit and get out of here. And the Cowboys haven't won a postseason game since this date. Who knows what things could have went? It could have been completely different for these Cowboys if they won. But my favorite blunder that comes to mind right now goes to Tony Romo for fumbling the damn snap for the kicker that would have gave them their first postseason win.
You know, it make me want to change. It make me want to change my my pick because I got a Cowboy one too.
You can give it to Romo too?
I got a Cowboy one too. But I mean, it's other things. I don't know if you remember. I think the dude played for the Vikings, if I'm not mistaken. He scooped up the fumble, ran the wrong way. That was one, but that's not what I picked. I picked good old Leon Lett. Good old Leon Lett for the Dallas Cowboys. We was in the Super Bowl, and he actually got two. He actually got another one with the Dolphins.
Which one?
We ended up. I think we blocked the kick or something, and everybody was like, "Don't touch it, don't touch it." And then Leon came through, ran. It was a snow game on Thanksgiving. Leon actually came through and slipped on the snow, slid all into the ball, actually gave it, touched it. Dolphins recovered. They was able to get another chance and ended up beating us that game. Now the game I'm talking about, it was the Super Bowl against the Bills. Leon Lett, typical Leon Lett, scooped up the ball.
Yeah.
Started celebrating at like the 20.
It was a great play.
It was a great play. Started celebrating at like the 20. Had the ball out his hand, like holding it like a loaf of bread. And little Don BB, who was a speedster. If anybody remember football back then, you remember Don BB. He had the burners. He had the burners. That dude could fly.
He had concussions.
Well, he had that too. But I mean, so did Kevin Love, but he was able to return. So
wow.
I mean, Don BB had the burners and hawked Leon Lett down before he was able to return that fumble. Was able to return that, knocked the ball out of his hand. Ball went out of bounds. Ball went back to the Bills, and that's just like a huge play. Now it didn't cost the Cowboys the Super Bowl. We were still able to win it, but I mean, those two right there just come to mind. When Spade said, "Yo, let's talk this," I instantly thought Leon Lett. Like Leon Lett just popped into my head.
I instantly thought Cowboys. Because the Cowboys have had a few.
Spade, you instantly thought C-Webb. You said C-Webb first.
I never said that. Because C-Webb was a kid in college, and I would never kick a kid when he down. I kick an adult.
Kick bad kids, bro. What do you mean? I remember when I came down here, we was in the mall. You was the kicking kid champ. You was just in the mall just kicking kids. That's what you do. You kick kids. Yep. Kick
those
kids,
were short adults, bro.
Kicking kids.
Bro, those were short adults.
Kicking kids. That's even worse that you kicking short adults. Terrible.
Yeah, those are short adults.
Kicking kid Spade. Kicking kid K Spade. Terrible. But man, those are a few that come to my mind. We want you guys to leave your biggest blunders. I mean, we could talk about Swaggy P shooting the shot, turning around, putting up the three, ball just. It's a few of them. So have some fun with that in the comment section. We're going to definitely be in the comment section looking for that.
Lance Stevenson got a few too. I want to see Lance Stevenson in our comment section. He got a few.
Yeah, Lance got a few.
Let's wrap the show up, bro.
Okay, let's get it.
It's been a very long show, man. Hopefully, you guys followed us along for the entire ride. If you didn't, maybe you paused it and you're going to listen to it the next day at work or school, home, or wherever you listen to our podcast.
Oh, congratulations to the people that's graduated. So everybody that's graduated, moving on, whether that be high school, college graduates, congratulations to you guys. I know this is commitments. I can't even say the word. I ain't even going to try it again. I know this is graduation time. People are having their commitments. I think that's how you say it. People are having that.
You got it.
So congratulations to you guys. Hopefully, you know what I mean, you guys get great jobs moving forward so you guys could come scoop up Strong Arm Sports. Come holler at us.
That's right. That's right. All y'all going into the field. You know, if you're looking for a really good sports show, we know of one.
I'm just saying.
Let's wrap this thing up, bro. It's time for us to give out our Strong Arm Performer of the Week award. It's a very, very, very prestigious award in podcast land. And we typically give this away to a male or female who raised his or her level of play to ensure that their team got the victory. The Paris, before you go, I'm going to switch it up. I want to go first this week.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, man, I want to do something unorthodox, man. I want to give my Strong Arm Performer of the Week to theringer.com because I don't know the anonymous tipster that gave them, you know, this is juicy material.
Yeah.
But that execution of it was perfect. If they'd have taken all 5 of these accounts to Philadelphia and said, we think this right here is Jerry Colangelo, it would have been handled completely different. By taking them 2 and seeing the other 3 go 0 dark at the same time, pretty much confirms without a shadow of a doubt that they are all connected and that Bryan Colangelo is indeed guilty of said whatever he's been accused of. And I want to give the ringer.com.
And following with ghost accounts. They followed them accounts with ghost accounts. Good God.
Yes.
They strategic.
Genius. I want to give the ringer.com my Strong Arm Performer of the Week. Excellent work, you guys.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
that was good, right?
I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm going to go unorthodox as well. It's crazy.
Copycat, bro. I can't have nothing right. You like a little.
I mean, I'm
switching it up. Like a sibling that always wants some of my fries.
Spade, it would have been easy to give it to a Warrior. You could have gave it to Steph Curry or Clay or Draymond for almost having the triple double.
You got a problem with the Warriors? Because we got to be unbiased on this show, bro.
Bro, I want to give it to a guy for not backing down, man. Sometimes when you got the biggest star in the game on your head, sometimes it's just easy to be like, you know what, I don't want no parts. However many, whatever going on, I gotta just sit back and take this on the chin. This dude is a super mega star. And I'm gonna say my Strong Arm Performer this week goes to Pusha T, man. Pusha T came out with an album, if you guys didn't know. Came out with an album. Kind of had some words to say about Drake or in his camp and Baby and all them. Drake responded, and it would have been easy for Pusha T to just be like, all right, I'm out. Pusha T was ready though. Pusha T responded, came back with what is it called? Adidon? What is it called? This story of Adidon, whatever, Adonis or something, whatever it's called.
Well, yeah, the kid named Adonis. Yeah,
the story of Adidon or whatever. But anyway, Pusha T came back and was ready, man. And I want to say this, Spade. I'm not, because you got to start your comment with saying, I'm not saying Pusha T has released the greatest diss record of all time. Let me start there, because people gonna be like, "Oh, y'all putting y'all gas in it." People said that.
Y'all, you riding in this car alone? I'm chilling.
No, I'm just saying. People will say, "Well, you know, you gassing." I'm not gassing. I'm not saying it's the greatest diss record of all time. I'm saying in a battle, this is what you got to do to your opponent. Drake kind of opened up the floodgates when he was talking about when he mentioned Pusha T's fiance, and Pusha T was here for it. He was, as the kids say, he was with the shits. He was with the shits.
You know what they calling him?
What they call him?
You know what they calling him? They calling him Pusha TMZ. Ain't Pusha T no more. It's Pusha TMZ.
Yeah, I actually seen Pusha T, like T you drink T EA. I actually seen that because he got the T.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, I seen that as well. But I want to say, shout out to Pusha T, because it's easy to just back down when a super mega superstar getting at you. Pusha T didn't back down.
Super mega superstar.
Yeah, he ain't backing down. And I'm gonna say this. Let me say this. And I'm not saying Drake is not going to respond, but we damn near a week. It's been some days. I don't know if Drake going to respond. I don't know if he's going to respond. But I want to say we have seen this before. Underground people knew who 50 Cent was. Ja Rule was pretty much I would assume Ja Rule. I want to say we will call Ja Rule a star. At one point, Ja Rule had about six joints on 106 in Park at that time. And 50 Cent, a no-name underground rapper, and I'm not calling Pusha T that. I'm just saying people are saying
no name.
People might not. I seen people saying, "Who the hell is a Pusha T?" I'm just saying we have seen this before. We have seen
50.
people
50 wasn't no name at this point.
I'm just saying people. We have seen the people be dethroned. We have seen it. So kudos to Pusha T for not backing down. And for that reason, Pusha T, you are my Strong Arm Performer of the Week. I love that for hip hop. I need that.
I'm gonna have to check.
I don't like buddy.
If we can do that.
Spade, I don't like buddy hip hop, bro. I
don't know if you can do that though.
Spade,
I gotta check with the producer.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you like buddy hip hop? Like everybody friendly, and I want, especially as long as we keeping it on wax, as long as we keeping it on music and nobody getting killed or nothing.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
As long as it's just bars. I mean, I just retweeted a video of Ketchup and Mustard freestyling against each other. I'm always down for a good battle.
Yeah, I'm with it. Spade, we might have to battle.
We're on the streets.
Spade, we might have to do it.
Well, yeah, you don't want those problems.
Spade, I don't think you want this smoke. I'm from Jersey, baby. I mean, we already know your beat gonna be better. It's gonna be hella 808s. It's gonna be hella.
Tay-Rock been killing battle rappers from your area for a long time. Listen, man.
Stop it.
Word on the streets is they say Drake got 100K out there for anybody who got slander on.
I heard that as well.
So if it's anybody from the Virginia area, if you trying to pay off your car note, maybe put a dent in your student loans, you might want to hit up Aubrey. They say Aubrey got 100K for you.
Factually,
I don't know that LaParis can do that. I don't know if you can give your stronger performer of the week to a rapper.
Why not?
I'm not against.
Bro, you just gave it to our competition.
I'm not against rappers. No, I didn't. This is sports related.
Okay.
Look, I'm not against rap. I'm not against rappers, but we are against those thugs. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say.
Jesus. Listen, man. Babe, before I close the show, you got anything else to say?
I just want to let people know, man, we got some big things in the plans. Big things in the plans. Make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you keep speaking. Look, all we want you to do is say what you feel. If you don't like the show, you don't like the show. But if you like the show, you gotta let people know you like the show, man. You gotta get them over here. We need y'all.
I got some things. I want to just say to the graduates, whether that be high school or college, speak things into existence. It's
facts.
Hey, when you speak it, it can happen. It can happen. So if you a high school graduate and you want to go to that college, maybe your route ain't directly to that college. Maybe you got to go to a JUCO or a community college to get there, but it can happen. Just keep speaking it. It can happen. Same thing with college. If you want your dream job, keep speaking it into existence. It can happen. That's why we tell y'all Strong Arm Sports is going to be one of the biggest sports shows, if not the biggest sports show in the world. We believe that, man.
This damn show going to be the best. I don't know if it's going to be the biggest, but it's going to be the best.
That's facts. And listen, I want to thank you guys for your continued support. As usual, I mean, we can't do this without y'all, man. As usual, if you're a regular here, if you're new here, bang the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. If you're a regular here, hit the like button. There's a little bell up there. You can click that bell. You get a notification to your mobile device that lets you know when a new episode has been uploaded to this channel. If you don't want to see two dudes arguing in a box, it's okay. We got audio podcasts everywhere. SoundCloud, UPodOmatic, iTunes. Soon to be on Spotify. It's still Hey, I told y'all got to tweet Spotify. Spotify done changed the rules, and a lot of crap is pending. I look at the list, and it show every podcast that's pending on Spotify, and there's a ton of them. Y'all gotta hit them up. Let them know that y'all want SAS up there, man. We can't thank you guys enough for your continued support. Comment on every topic that we talked about in the comment section down below. Hit us up on Twitter. We love talking sports with y'all. We'll see you guys next episode. We out. Peace.